Okay, week 4 in our class. We're getting halfway done already. So that's kind of nice. Doing a great job so far of getting in the discussion boards each week and answering each other and submitting your work on time, which I really appreciate. Thank you. So this week, you're going to be picking an emerging technology that you want to explore a little bit more and do a presentation on. You can't pick the same thing as somebody else has picked. So I have some examples here on the board or on the presentation that you can think about. You don't have to use one of these, but there are things that you could use. You might want to explore something you don't have a lot of experience with. I think that's a great way to learn, is just kind of dive in and try something. I'm working with Google HyperDocs right now, and I'm really finding that very interesting and easy way to get presentations out to in one quick format, but then embedded with lots of different links. So you might try that one, but it's up to you. We didn't have a lot of topics this week besides thinking about the future in our reading. So one of the things that I'm working with my district is to redevelop our alternative learning programs. Right now they're not super successful. We're kind of dumping kids kind of as a credit retrieval kind of model, which is not what we want to be doing with this. What we're trying to do is have it be personalized to kids, someplace where, let's say they're really involved in dance and they've got to go to dance, 4 hours a day. A regular school may not be the exact thing that they need. Might need something a little bit different. So we're looking to personalize our learning. Was just at an AXA conference and somebody said personalized learning. Would that mean we'd have like a learning plan for every single child? Yes, that's what it would mean. But when you think about how we incorporate technology into that platform, it's much more doable than some teacher trying to do it by themselves in a class of 35. That is overwhelming. But when we're using it with the strengths and weaknesses in technology that we can find very easily when we're using any kind of program, and then design that learning to say, okay, this child doesn't know how to add fractions. I'm going to give them some lessons and some videos on how to do that and then come back and check with them. This kid may be very interested in mammals in Australia, so we're going to set up a lesson for them. So it's varied to the child and it's based on what they want to learn, but still filling in those gaps and holes because we know that it has to be aligned to the standards. They still have to make reasonable academic progress compared to the kids in a different program. And parents and kids need to know what that is very clearly and what the learning objectives are. It can't just be kind of willy-nilly. When we talk about personalized learning, we're not talking about replacing the teacher with a robot, because teaching is still going to be a very personal one-to-one experience. It may be that it's done online through the use of video, but the teacher is never going to be not part of the solution. It's got to be the teacher is totally involved in it and designing learning for the child. We're going to really move away, I think, in this model from the whole group instruction to one-to-one instruction or group instruction, small group instruction. So you might take a group of 4 or 5 kids that need to learn something, but you're not going to be standing in front of the whole classroom delivering instruction like most of us are very used to. And it's very constructive a space. So I put a picture in here of kind of a school where kids are moving from learning activity to another learning activity. That's very personalized and doesn't look like a regular classroom to what we're used to seeing. So personalized learning has to start with curriculum design, because if you don't have good curriculum design, you're not going to be able to do it. So you could be doing it in multiple locations, from multiple perspectives, multiple time constraints, because it doesn't have to be done. It doesn't have to be an 8 to 3 day anymore, because some of this can be delivered online. Talk about virtual schools where we're not taking attendance every day because kids are not coming every day. Maybe they're coming just once a week to look at their progress, or sometimes just looking at their progress through a video conferencing if they happen to be on location filming or traveling with dad who's a trucker. We're not taking attendance by their time in the seat. You're not going to be practicing things in the classroom. If they do come in, that's not what they're doing. They're doing the small group instruction, they're doing social development, they can collaborate online, and this offers some really good options for parents and children that want something a little bit different. So the facts about virtual schools is they're actually really growing. Getting a lot more attendance in them. The kids that enroll tend to be white, tend to not to be poor. tend to not have a learning disability because they have to be able to work on their own, less likely to be an English language learner, because I think that developing a language is something almost you have to do it in person. And they're most likely to enroll in this program in middle school. And anybody that teaches middle school understands that's a really hard time for kids, hard time for them to fit in. A lot of them feel like they're being bullied at that time. But interesting that that's where they tend to go to a virtual school. And then many of them transition back to a regular traditional school. So looking ahead, don't forget to keep reading that book that you picked out in the first week. I know you get a lot of things going on. It's crazy at work, but you've got to have that book report done in week 8. So keep reading that book, each week. And then at the beginning of class, you made a prediction about the future of education. Keep thinking about, has that changed? Have you changed to learning about some of these new technologies? Because in week 6, you're going to do a multimedia presentation. So have a great week. Email me if you have any questions. Hopefully that Sketchfab assignment wasn't too hard, but I know it was a little bit time consuming. All right, have a good week.